All right. We are live.
Hey, Ray, the video guy.
How are we doing?
Oh, fine as frog hair, as they say down south.
Well, that's good. I don't understand that one, but I'll accept it.
I don't either, but I've said it all my life.
So it looks like we're starting to get a number of people in here, so that's exciting.
All right.
In fact, if anybody's excited to hear a little bit about getting interactive, then feel free to hit that chat area and just throw us a little message in there to let us know that you can hear us and that you're excited and that you're getting us live and in living color, or at least color of the graphic anyway.
Hey, there's my good buddy Bill and Wall. Wall, I'll tell you, I got to tell you about Wall Gifford, Ray. Wall he was in China last night, Shanghai, China, and he's a pilot for a major airline, and now he's back home in New Zealand. And he was on a webinar last night with me, and now here he's on the Hangout. So it's good to know it's working. Hey, there's George. And welcome, everybody. Tell us where you're coming in for. Bill Barnum is one of my good guys from Sedona, Arizona.
No, I almost said, hey, look, we got two from New Zealand, but that's Arizona.
Yeah. There's Hi again. And anyway, guys, I'm new to Ray. Is another video guy. You know how you get to be a video guy, Ray? Just say you are.
That's exactly right.
And anyway, got to know Ray here. I love what you're doing, Ray. I mean, I love the mastermind that we're in because we're meeting so many talented people. And one of the lessons here, guys, is making friends and joint ventures and masterminding. And I'm a big believer in the mastermind principle. So I appreciate so many of you guys coming here to this. I say there's Jim, there's Bill Blake. I mean, these are all names that are folks that have been, Ray, that have been customers and friends, and all my customers feel like friends. I get a relationship with them where when they're struggling, I want to make sure they don't struggle anymore, and when I struggle, we struggle together. That kind of thing.
Not that it's good that you struggle, but that's good.
Yeah, but that's how we learn. And Ray is proven to be one of the smart, good guys that I wanted you guys to know about. And this YouTube interactive clickable links in a YouTube video is brilliant. I can't believe I haven't been doing this. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to fix that problem from hence on out. So I'm excited about what you're going to be teaching today. Folks, it looks like we're getting a good group coming in here. People saying hello. They're saying we're sounding great. So Google Hangouts is working. Yay! Webinar Jam is working. And
absolutely.
And I got to tell you, I'm in the hands of my good buddy Ray here because I don't know how it works. I just know how to talk in front of my microphone. So if you're hearing us,
I don't really know how it works either. So.
If it's working, it's because Ray set it up right. There's Daniel in Sydney, Australia. Kay says we're looking and sounding great. Great, awesome.
That's because they can't see us. That's why we look good.
Well, I had a webcam on here, but and I wore a pretty colorful shirt. But you know what? You need to see the information. You don't need to see. You're seeing Ray's lovely picture there, and you can see my goofy Hawaiian shirt picture down there. There's Wall. Wall will give you some great public chat comments. He says, "Hey, we find all the potholes together."
Nice. There we go.
I met Wall Gifford in Australia close to 10 years ago, and he has been a wonderful supporter of all the crazy things I do, Ray. So when I see his name here, I got to bring it up. Now there's Dale Allen in Nashville, Rick in Ohio. Hey, we're getting a good group here, good great attendance today, and of course the question that everybody says, are you recording it? Well, let me tell you something about Hangouts. It is automatically recorded, so everybody. But there's reasons for attending live, and according to my clock, Ray, let's start the the introduction is kind of what we've been going on right now. Guys, this is Ray the video guy, Ray Lane. I've become a relationship and a friendship and a colleague, joint venture partner in the last couple of months. Ray is just brilliant. He's out there, in Utah, somewhere in Utah?
I am, way up north.
way up north
Way
of
up.
Utah. But because of the internet and his experience of being a video guy on television, he has got so much good stuff. And when he shared with me what you could do with clickable buttons in your videos on YouTube, I said, this is something I want you guys to know about. So without further ado, I'm going to keep my mouth shut because I am a student today. I want to do this. I've been practicing it, but I want to get better at it. So Ray, the video guy, Lane, the floor or the hangout is yours.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. And Ron, I appreciate your comment there, too. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm really excited to do this today, and just a little bit of housekeeping to let you know, because I know people will continue to ask throughout this. It is automatically recorded, and the great thing is once this is completed, the recording will be right on the same page that you're already on. So if you come right back to that link, it'll forward you right to the playback page. And we'll also send you out a message, within an hour or so that'll give you a link back to the playback. So you can always do that. And other than that, the only thing I would say is while I am the video guy, I'm not necessarily the webinar technician. So if I goof things up along the way, you can kind of laugh at me and we'll have some fun with that. But the other thing is, Mike, if you could help me along here, I love interaction. So if you can kind of monitor anything cool that somebody says, and if they've got a question as we're moving along, feel free to throw it out there, and we will come to a dead halt and answer those questions to make sure that everybody is on the page as best we possibly can. And with that, we will start with YouTube Interaction. Look at that. I can't even say the name. YouTube Interactive. And this is where you're going to learn to add clickable buttons in your videos. And as you can see here in the picture in front of you here, I've got a picture of me. This is a video, and these are some of the buttons that are on the page that we can actually make clickable when people are watching your videos. Okay, so here we go. So of course the first question that I want to ask everybody here is, because you come here for a reason, and of course the big question is, why do you want buttons in your videos? And the reason for that is a few, and actually if we'd been able to play this full screen, each of these comes in flying real nice, but we unfortunately, due to tech limitations, we're going to have it right on screen here. So the idea is to be able to put buttons that capture people's attention. And we want to do that because capturing their attention and making them understand that they can click something here is actually going to improve your click-throughs to your website. And what we've actually found in some of our tests is that we see about a 30% increase in the amount of click-throughs. So for instance, if you've got a video right now that's on YouTube and people watch it and 100 people click through a day, you're probably going to see that go up by 130, 140 people a day. And the reason is because they are drawn towards these buttons. They understand what they are. They're used to seeing them on web pages, and so they get into the habit of clicking those. And of course, when you get to have some real fun, you can do things like this, and maybe make animated arrows and things like that to point to the buttons and things of that nature. So because it's video, you can do a lot of very cool stuff. And the great thing about this is, even though, Mike, I don't know if you know this or not, but I've been teaching people this for almost a year now, that this has been live on YouTube, that you can do this. And we've taught probably, I would say probably 10,000 people how to do this, and I still hardly ever see anybody using this in their videos. And the bottom line is, when you do this, you make more sales.
When did annotations, which is the technical addition that YouTube added, when did annotations come about? Have they been around longer than a year?
Yeah, annotations have been around for a few years, but going back a few years, they were mostly used for things like, putting a talk bubble above somebody's head to for that kind of fun stuff. It wasn't really, they had their uses, but they weren't interactive like they are now. And what happened was, about, I don't even know exactly how long, maybe 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, they added the ability where you could click from one video to another video, and then they even added the ability, if you were, let's say, a charity, that you could have clickable links in your videos that would go to the charity and things of that nature. And then it was somewhere around last April or May that they rolled out the ability to link your website and be able to click back to your actual website from the video itself. And when I came out with this original program, YouTube Interactive, or when I first started putting it together, the actual training had nothing about clicking to your website. Literally, I was about 80% through the teaching people how to, make it interactive, going to other videos and things of that nature when they came out with that ability. And of course, I had to stop and change the entire program because, that's just such a huge breakthrough from what they had before. And, one of the tests that we did recently, actually, and by recently I mean probably 6 months ago now, is I actually created a video that talked about, I don't know if you're familiar with the Facebook messaging system where you can use your phone and leave a voice message on Facebook. And a lot of people don't even know that exists. But what we did was I made a video showing you how to do that, and then I put buttons on the video, one for the Android app and one for the iPhone app, and I wanted to see if people actually clicked on those buttons and how often they did. And literally within one day, about 300 people clicked on each of those buttons. So I was blown away by that because usually within 24 hours for a video like that, you don't even get 600 views normally. So when we got 600 click-throughs, that just blew my mind for something that was very techy in nature. And it just showed very quickly that people will click on those buttons in the videos, even if they're not used to it, because let's face it, not many people are doing this yet. It's still pretty rare.
Well, and one of the things that I see is the fact that when you tell somebody, click on this, and then it appears, there's that, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do, a reaction. And, for years, I would point down under the video to get that reaction because you couldn't do this. You couldn't do this in Flash video. So this is just awesome that I'm amazed YouTube is allowing us to do it, and, hey, you figured it out.
Well, and that's the thing, and they do. They make you jump through a lot of hoops in order for this to work. But, it's nothing is super hard that I'm going to teach, but it is kind of complex. It's a lot of, press button A, stick this in slot B, just a lot of crazy things. And honestly, this is my opinion, but I think YouTube does it on purpose because I don't think they want everybody doing this, at least not yet. So I think they purposely make it kind of difficult so that, most people won't figure it out or try it so that they're not overwhelmed with spam type stuff. But, we'll see over time how that turns out for them. So,
and I wanted to say a couple of things here. I'm monitoring the questions, guys. So I'm watching the chat box here, and there were one person says, "Well, are we going to see Ray talking?" And I wanted to say that this is going to be just a slideshow webinar because we opted not to show you our messy hair or Ray's short hair and my messy hair.
I can switch to my live camera if I want,
Well, if you really want to see Ray, I got to see some votes for it. But that's the reason not. And one of the questions is that does this work on a mobile phone? These buttons, are they clickable? And
that is a great question. And fortunately, the answer is right now it does not. The rumor is that they are working on something to finally get that to mobile. So hopefully in the very near future that will happen. But it ticks me off that they haven't done it yet, especially because they own one of the biggest mobile platforms out there. So,
yeah, you would think they'd want to do that. But I did test it on my iPad, and they are clickable on an iPad.
Oh, are they really? See, now, look, I just learned something because before they were not. So that's if they are now, that's fantastic. That's a huge step in the right direction.
Okay, but I'll quit interrupting here.
No, feel free. I love the interaction, so that's great. So let's talk about what we're actually going to learn through this. And I've broken it down into 3 basic parts. Now, the first part of this is how to actually set up your YouTube account to be able to be interactive, because it actually does require a lot of steps you have to go through in order to make it interactive. And then the second thing we're going to talk about is how to get the actual buttons like these here and put them into your videos. And then the third part is how you turn these videos, or excuse me, these buttons into actual clickable links. And fortunately, that's probably the easiest part. So we'll end on the easiest note with that. Now, when we get into setting up your account, there's a couple of things that you have to do. And as you can see here, This is just a snapshot of my account page here with the features. And you can see here all these lovely green dots. And this is kind of what we're looking for when we set up our account, is to be able to turn on all the features here. And the way that we do that is we need to verify the account. And if any of you have ever gone through the process, all you do literally, and I'll actually show you this live in a second, is there's actually a button up here when you're not verified that'll say, you know, it'll say verify now or verify, something of that nature. You click that, they're going to ask you for a phone number, you're going to give them your phone number, and they're going to send you a code, then you'll be verified. Now once you're verified, you'll start to have a lot of these green dots here, and the most important one is right here, external annotations. That's the one that enables us the ability to do clickable links, is that external annotations. And so that's what we'll get the ability to do. You'll also get the ability to do things like custom thumbnails and whatnot. I think right now the only one you won't get live right away usually is the live events. I think pretty much everything else you'll get once you're verified, which is great. The second thing you need to do is what we call associating your website with your YouTube channel. And if any of you have ever done Google Analytics, it's very similar in the way that that works. What you do is you're going to your Webmaster Tools, you're getting a little file, you're uploading that file to your website, and then Google's going, okay, you own that website, therefore we connect the two together. And then the final thing, like we said here, is actually uploading that code. So what I'm going to do here, if I can without messing this up, is I'm actually going to switch to the live browser here. So you'll see my lovely logo here for just a moment. And I'm going to switch over to that so that we can take a look at exactly what we're doing here. And okay, so Mike, are you seeing my screen there, just to make sure?
No, you need to do it one more time. You know how, there we go. Now it shows.
Oh, just took a second. All right.
Hey,
so what I'm on here,
we're getting votes that before you leave, you got to show your smiling face.
Okay, I can do that. We can do that for a second. It might be a little dark. I don't have the lights on in here, but we'll try it anyway. Okay, so what we can see here is this is actually my YouTube channel here, or my YouTube account here. And you can see I've got 43 messages I haven't read yet. Guess I should get on top of that. We'll do that afterwards. What we want to do is, if you click the button in the corner here, you just go through the confusing navigation of YouTube here, and you can click pretty much any of these here, My Channel or Video Manager, and that's going to take you to where you want to get. Oh, sorry, not My Channel. What am I doing? I hit the wrong button. See that? Even I make mistakes with this. Let's try that one more time here. Come on, YouTube. By the way, I'm also usually on the world's slowest internet, so I apologize for that in advance as well. So what we want to click is one of these other ones here, besides My Channel. You don't want My Channel. And then once we get to the actual dashboard here, this is where you want to hit your channel settings button, and that's where we see the screenshot that I showed a second ago. And of course, right here is where you would click the button to partner your account. And then you go through the process of, they'll send you the code over the phone. For those of you who have never done that before, it's very easy. For those of you who have done it a few times, you know, YouTube does cut you off after a little while, so if you've got a lot of channels, you may get cut off. So just be aware of that. You may need to use friends and family's phones to verify these at some point. Now what we want to do also is we want to come down here, and this is where things can get a tiny bit confusing, and again, I think this is on purpose. I've got here a button that says Advanced. Some people may actually have a button that says Associated Website. Either one of those, depending upon which one you have, that's what you want to click. In my case, it says Advanced. Now, why they have different buttons for different people, I have no idea, but for some reason they do. Okay, so once we get to this page here, you're going to scroll down, and you're going to see an area here that says Associated Website. And you can see here, mine right now is green and it says Success. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove that for a moment here. And so all you have to do is put in your website. So in my case, raythevideoguy.com. Let's see if I can type and talk at the same time. And in my case, I'm just going to hit Add, and you can see it's going to say Success again. Now, if you're new to this, what you're going to have to do is it's going to have a button here that's going to take you over to Google Webmaster Tools. And actually, if I pull that up here, we'll actually pull up Webmaster Tools.
And I'll add, this is the part that's frustrating, and I bet you is the reason so many people give up. You know, I kind of know what I'm doing, and this was frustrating. I'll be honest with you guys, but it's worth it because having these clickable links. Now, I got a quick question while you're doing this.
Sure.
When somebody embeds that YouTube video, let's say somebody likes my video, and some people have embedded my videos in their blogs. These links are they clickable when they're embedded videos, or only on YouTube?
In most places, yes. I've noticed there are some instances, for whatever reason, that things will not be, but for the most part, yes, they will be clickable at that point in time.
So in other words, if I pull my YouTube video over into my blog, which I recommend to all my folks, you know, repurpose your videos as blog posts by doing the embed code. Those clickable buttons to whatever you're clicking to will go with the embeds. I'll have to test that. I haven't tested that, but you're saying your experience is most times it works.
Yes, absolutely. So what I'm going to do here, actually, to try and make this work, is I'm going to remove my site, and I'm going to put another website in here. And,
oh, God, don't tear it up, Bray.
No, that's okay. It's easily fixable. Once you have that in there, all you have to do is put your site back, and boom, it'll be fixed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up a website here. I'm just going to put abcd.com. Hopefully that's not a real website. We're going to hit add. And you can see here when you first put in your website, now it says pending. Okay? And if you've set yours up, you can hit refresh. You can always remove. But underneath that is a button that says verify. And this is where you have to verify that you own this abcd.com. So you're going to click that verify button. And that's when it's going to take you to this inside of Webmaster Tools here. And because I'm already logged in, it's probably going to ask you to log in. It didn't because I already did over here. Now what you need to do on this page is right here, download an HTML file. Just click that, and it's going to download a file to your computer. And then once you download that file, you just have to upload it to your website. And that can be done through FTP. So if you've got a website on, with a cPanel, you can actually upload it through the little FTP service right inside of there. So basically, however you normally would upload anything to your website, use that, FileZilla, CyberDuck, whatever it happens to be. Just upload that one little HTML file, which is this file right here. Just upload it to the root of your website, hit verify, and of course it's going to fail for me right now. But when you hit verify, if you've got it up there, it'll say that it was enabled, and then when you come back to YouTube, we'll slip back here. You can see actually it put my old one back in for me already. So there you go. So mine says success again. So hopefully at that point you would say success. So as you can see, it's not hard, but it's kind of weird, and if you don't understand it beforehand, it can be very awkward. And like you said, Mike, it was a little frustrating, but you made it through, correct?
Yeah, and what's happening, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Google is not going to let you associate a YouTube channel with a associated website unless you have the technology and expertise to prove you own it. And
Absolutely.
so this is a security measure. They've got this secret generated complicated code that they want you to that they create for you, and they say, okay, you got to put it on the website you own. And if you can't get it there, you're never going to hook the two together. So that's the reason for all of this. And of course, there was a question here from Ron. He says, how many websites can you hook up to a YouTube channel? And the answer is only one. Isn't that correct?
That is correct. So you can only do one, but of course what you can do is have lots of different channels, that for different things. So for instance, if you're selling products, you could have a YouTube channel for that particular product, link directly to that page, another product, link directly to that page, things of that nature. And of course, if you're if you're willing to try it, there's also ways to link to other websites through forwarding and things like that. I will say that's a gray area, and I always like to say that is definitely a gray area. So if you do that, you do it at your own volition, and if something happens to your channel, I don't want to hear about it. So, but there are ways around that as well. And I'll be completely honest, I do that all the time, and I've never had an issue. But there is always the potential that they're not going to like that when you do that. So I will throw that out there. But yeah, essentially what I do, just so you guys kind of understand, is With this site here, because this is going to my main Ray the Video Guy website, what I will do is, as I have different products, I'll have raythevideoguy.com/product1, raythevideoguy.com/product2. And so on my channel, I'll have different videos that point to different pages on that website that might have a landing page or a squeeze page or something of that nature. So you can go to all sorts of different pages on your site, and and that can be as deep as you want. So literally, if you created a catch-all site, which is something else I've done, for instance, I've got a site that I play around with sometimes called True Product Review. Well, True Product Review could have anything on it, from diet to whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all about any product. And so I could literally have dozens of YouTube channels pointing to that site, dozens of pages on each of those channels pointing to a page on that site. And that's the other thing too. You can have more than one channel pointing to a website. So you can do that. It does work okay the other way. It's just only one site per channel, but you can have many channels pointing to the site. And one word of advice too, for some of you, you may come here, put your website in, and hit verify, and it might work automatically. If you've got a more recent analytics file, it may actually recognize that and automatically associate your site. So you may get lucky in that regard. It doesn't happen all the time, but it definitely can happen. So, and Mike, this is a good stopping point. If anyone does have any more questions about that before we get into anything else, this would be a good time to throw that out there as well.
Well, I mean, we've got some people from all areas of experience, and that's okay because we invite everyone. One person says, "Well, how do you get a YouTube channel?" And that's a great question because and one gentleman, and I'm not going to name his name, but he says, "How much do your YouTube channels cost?" And these are all great questions. They're not bad questions. Google gives this stuff away free.
Yep.
And I don't know if there's a limit on how many YouTube channels you can have, but you can have at least 2 or 3, I know. I
have about 50 at least.
You have 50 YouTube channels. At
least. I mean, probably a lot more than that.
Okay. Because what I do, and if you've got a better way, Ray, of telling folks, I get yes, Deborah, it's being recorded. I create a Gmail account, and then the minute I create a new Gmail account, either for myself or a client, they have a YouTube login.
Absolutely.
And the only way you're going to be able to play in mine and Ray's world here is you got to make video. You got to talk to the camera. This Hangout is about, you've got great videos, but you want to have clickable buttons in them. That's the focus of this today. So,
but
go to Google.
What we can do, Mike, is at the end of this, I've got some resources, that'll show everybody how to do that stuff, such as set up the account, that I can send over to you to pass out to them as well.
Absolutely. All right. Excellent.
So I've got some of that. But yeah, and just so you guys know, like Mike said, when you create your Gmail account, in other words, if you have a Gmail website, or excuse me, a Gmail email, you have a YouTube channel whether you know it or not. You may not realize it's there, but it does exist. And that also goes for Google+. If you have a Google+ account, then you've got a YouTube channel or a YouTube account as well. And furthermore, if you've ever created a Google+ business page, that business page also has its own YouTube channel that you probably don't realize as well. Yeah. So, in other words, if you've got a G+ account for yourself and you've got 3 business pages, if you go to YouTube, log in with that same Gmail account, you're going to find that you have a personal YouTube channel and 3 business YouTube channels, because it does that automatically. It gives you all of those things. So yeah, if you've got a Gmail account, go log into YouTube. You're going to be surprised to find, hey, I've got one here. Now, it won't have anything on it, and it'll tell you, hey, do you want to create your channel? Because it'll show you that you have an account. You just hit yes, and it'll set that up. And, when they create a channel, it doesn't really do anything at that point. It just kind of says, okay, you've got a channel. But yeah, that exists, and you've already got it whether you realize it or not, which is kind of cool. So now the next thing that we want to talk about is creating the buttons that you're going to put into your videos. Because obviously, as we showed back up here, all of these things, these are, for instance, these 2 here are actually animated So these buttons actually fly in and the text writes onto them and stuff. And these are still graphics here. But what we want to do is we want to talk to you about some of the resources that you can use to create these. And Mike and I actually, we spent yesterday afternoon putting some stuff together specifically for you guys, because I know many of you do video with the iPad, and some of the graphic stuff with the iPad and iMovie on the iPad works a little bit different than most editors. So we actually created some graphics just for you guys that work specifically with this. But I'm going to show you the basics here. And what you're going to need to create your buttons are, one, either some pre-made buttons, and we've actually got some, like I mentioned, Mike and I have worked to put some together for you guys specifically. You can also find a lot of these buttons online. Heck, you can go to Fiverr and type in call to action button, and you'll find people that have packs of them for you and whatnot that you can grab that say download now, or buy now, or click here, or whatever. And you can use those types of buttons in your videos automatically. You don't have to edit them or do anything. The next thing is button templates. And we also have some of those available as well, so that you can go in and, let's say you've got a really cool button that says buy now, but you want to say buy it now. Well, you can go in and you can open Photoshop and change that. And that brings us to the next thing, is you're going to need something like Photoshop if you're going to adjust the button templates or create your own. And so, getting some feedback.
No, we're getting an Amber Alert in Georgia.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't realize that was on my phone. Sorry about that, guys.
So what you'll need is Photoshop or some other program. You can use GIMP is a free one. Pixlr.com, Pixlr.com is another free Photoshop-like program that actually runs on your web browser. And so you can create your own buttons, or you can adjust buttons that you found. And then I threw this in here too, because I don't know if you guys are aware of this. This is a product called Graphic Pro for Less, and this was put out by Todd Gross and Shannon Murphy, and it's fantastic. It's inexpensive, and literally you can go in. You go in with your web browser, you open up a button style, and you can create your own buttons. And they've got all sorts of other things besides buttons. But even though I'm really good with Photoshop and I've got a lot of these, oftentimes I just go to this site and quickly create a button. So that's something you may want to look up as well, because it's a very effective way for building buttons and not spending $30 a month on Photoshop or $600 on Photoshop or whatever. So those are just a couple of resources that you can do with that. But we're actually going to get you guys some of these, and I don't even know if I told you this, Mike, but I'm actually going to provide them with some of these buttons to try out at the end of the webinar. I'll probably give that to you to pass out to them.
Okay.
If that's all right. So everybody that attended can get those. So now, once you've created your buttons, well, the next thing you got to do is you've got to actually use your buttons. And the way that this works, and this can be confusing because obviously, when we go to YouTube, we see this and we see these buttons on here and we say, gosh, how did those buttons get on there? Well, it's really kind of I don't know if optical illusion is the right word, but it's an illusion. These buttons are actually not buttons, at least not once they're on YouTube. What they actually are is graphics that we put into the video when we're editing the video. And I'm going to show you how that works in just a minute here. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a video editor. And I know for a lot of you that might be iMovie on the iPad. But most any editor will work if you're on the desktop, Final Cut Pro, iMovie, Adobe Premiere, Sony Vegas. There's just a ton of them out there. Even programs like ScreenFlow or Camtasia, you can do it with those. The only thing you really can't do it with is Windows Movie Maker. And I actually, when I put this out, I actually made a big mistake because I said in one of the training videos, you can use any editor. You could probably even use Windows Movie Maker. Well, I never should have said that because come to find out you can't. But apparently Windows Movie Maker is a little bit too limited and doesn't actually allow you to layer a graphic over the video that's that's got some transparency. So we were kind of out of luck there. So I had a lot of people I had to apologize to for that. But
so you can't do an overlay video in Windows Movie Maker. I don't use Windows Movie Maker because it just seemed pretty limited.
It is, and but from what I found out, you can put a graphic over it, but not a graphic with transparency apparently. So there's just some limitations to the way that that works. Whereas with other editors, it's actually really simple. You just bring in the graphic, drop it on, and you go. And I'll show you that in 1 second here. And so what we're actually doing is we're putting the button over the video itself inside the editor. And we'll try to do another little tech issue here and see if we can switch over to the editor so I can just kind of quickly show you how that works. Okay, so hopefully in a second here, Mike, let me know when you see the screen here.
All right.
Hopefully you're seeing it.
This is a good question, and when you show the buttons, Tony's asking what size buttons do you recommend when you're putting it on the video? Because now, in clarity, folks, the button is becoming part of the video. That's key.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what I tell people all the time, honestly, and this is totally true, I kind of eyeball it, to be perfectly honest. There's some, because obviously some videos are going to be, 1920 by 1080. Some videos are going to be 1280 by 720. Some of them might even be 640 by 480. So one size graphic isn't going to work super well for that, because you put it on a high definition video, it might look small. You put it on a standard definition video, the button's going to look enormous. And so I just resize it by eyeball. And Mike, are you seeing the editor here?
We're not getting your screen yet. At least I'm not.
Okay, let me try
and so once again, this all gets back to you folks being here's this is your video editor. Now, what program are you using here?
This program here, this is Final Cut Pro. So this is kind of a more advanced editor, but most of them work fairly similar. So it's not, drastically different. They might look different. They might lay things out slightly different, but the idea is going to be basically the same. Okay, and are we seeing that now?
Yes, I'm seeing it now. And before you ask, I figured out how to do it with an iPad. The iPad lovers out there.
Yes,
so
that's why
we got a surprise. So nobody leave, because there's a surprise coming.
Absolutely. Okay, so what we've got here, I've just got a video of this guy here, and you can see over here I've got a button here that says Add to Cart. And so all you have to do is take that graphic out of your bins here, drop it into the video itself on top of the other videos. Now, as you can see here, what Final Cut does is Final Cut fits it to the screen, which is why it's enormous right now. But all you have to do, and this might be different in some of them, you may need to get into the numbers here to scale it down. Some of them you'll be able to just grab it and resize it like this, just like you would with Photoshop. And so we come up with a size, let's say, oh, that looks pretty good. Drag it to where you want it to be, and there you go. You got your graphic in there, and it's that simple to do. All I had to do is take that graphic, drop it right in. And of course, do whatever you want to do with that. If you wanted to, you could make it so that maybe add a transition so it flies in if you wanted to. Add drop shadows, do all that kind of stuff. But that's how simple it is to get it in there, is to just drag it in, put it on top of the other video. And just like a lower third, if you've ever done a lower third on your video, it's very similar to that. Or put your logo in the corner of a video, same exact idea. And then all you're going to do is just export your video as is with the button on the video and upload it to YouTube. And so it's very, very simple, nothing overly complex there. People have to get used to doing these things, but it's really not very complex. And again, Mike, if anyone has any questions on that before we get into the third section here, I'd be glad to hear those.
Well, like when you looked at his screen there, Tony was saying, what's the recommended size? Whatever size you want to make it.
Yeah,
and what you're doing, how long do you want the button to appear? You get to determine that in your video editor, because the placement of the button is part of the video that gets uploaded to YouTube. And that was the part I didn't understand until I started talking to Ray, and he showed me how this works. So basically, what you're doing is you're making your video content with the button, with pretty people click on the buttons when it says click here, add to cart, things like that. That's what people understand on the internet to click on. And so when that thing appears out of nowhere, and then you start talking about right here is the button, and you point to that button right below your hands, that's how people respond. And so let's get on to the technology. Okay, and you know what the questions are? well, how do you make it link? Well, that's what Ray's going to do
Well,
right
that's part
now.
3. Back to, we'll even click the next slide here. There we go, making them click. And just to answer some of those other things, you know, what I do a lot of times is, you know, I do a lot of video where I'm shooting myself, so I'm actually in the video, and a lot of times I'll say, all you have to do is click here, and I'll literally point my finger and then put the button where my finger points. You know, that sort of thing. So the button will come in when I say that, and then maybe go away after that. So if you've ever seen any of my stuff, like one of the classic ones, I've got a video where I give away free music, which, you know, near and dear to you, Mike, right? I give away some royalty-free music, and in that video, when I talk about it, the picture of the compact discs pops up in the corner, and they can click on it. And I'll even put, a lot of times, I'll put an arrow. So literally, there'll be an arrow, and it'll move up and down and point towards the button and say, click this, you know, to really get people's attention. Because you can have a lot of fun with this once you get used to doing it. So that, you know, that's something you can really play around with and do some cool things with. And we've done a lot of fun stuff. I've even done one where on a lot of my affiliate videos, you know, we'll be showing, maybe we're showing how the product works or whatever, and there'll be a sidebar on the side with a picture of the product, and I'll actually, a little mini version of me will walk onto the screen, point at the button, and then walk away. You know, things like that. So you can do a lot of cool stuff with this and really make it interactive. And so just, you know, think outside of the box with that, and you're going to do a lot of fun stuff. All right, so let's talk about making it click. And as has been alluded to a couple times, that the secret to making these buttons clickable is actually done on YouTube, on that side, and it's done with annotations. And you've probably seen annotations before. That's the little, a lot of times you'll see like the dark box at the top of the screen that says, you know, learn more, go to abc.com. Those are annotations, or maybe it looks like a speech bubble pointing at somebody, like pop-up video, for those of you old enough to remember pop-up video. So that's what an annotation essentially is. And so what we're going to do in the annotations is we're going to head over to the annotations area, and I'll show you this live in a moment. And it looks similar to this. And we're going to create what's called a highlight over the button. Okay, so we got a button on this video. You're going to create a highlight over it. And then you're going to link it to the site that we set up earlier. And as I mentioned, that can be any page on your site. So it doesn't have to be to the root URL. It can be any page on your site, and that'll work. So let's do one more time here. We're going to switch over to the live version here and see if we can show you exactly how that works. Let's make sure that I choose the correct web browser here. In my practices, I kept choosing the wrong one. All right. Are we seeing that okay now?
Yes, we are.
Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to go right back into here again. And this time I'm going to go to the Video Manager. And inside the Video Manager, we've got all of our videos here. And there's a few different ways to get to our annotations. Now, the first is you can actually click this arrow next to any of your videos. And you can see it says right here, Annotations. So if you click that, it'll take you directly to your annotations. The other thing is, if we go to the actual video itself, I'll try to keep this silent before it talks. There we go. You can see right here this button that looks like a little talk cube. That is also the annotations button, so we can click that. And that'll bring us to the annotations page. We'll pause that again. Now, what we have here is this is the actual video, and this is the annotation timeline. And this is where you can decide if you want your button to go throughout the whole video, or just a section of the video, or, you know, however you want to do that. Now, I probably chose the wrong video here. Okay, we'll use this actually. I was going to say I didn't know if this one had a button in it because it's a different type of video. But we'll pretend that we want to make this an actual clickable button here. So all we have to do is come over to our annotations. It says plus add annotation. Click on that. And the second to the last one is called a spotlight. And so if we click a spotlight, and I know this is going to be tough to see, but there's actually a little box here with some dots that you can see is a square. And all you do is, just like we did with the graphic, just size this box around the area that you want to be clickable. So in this case, I'm putting it around this yellow box here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually come over here, and like I said, I don't know how well you guys can see this through a you know, kind of like a copy of a copy at this point, but there's actually a white box that's around the clickable area, and we don't want to show that. So what we do is we come over here to this paint bucket, click on this, and just hit the no color button. It's a little red slash through, and when we click that, and now you probably see the black, you might be able to see the black line there. That's just for our purposes. That won't be seen on the video itself. So now that white border is gone. Now, in some cases, you may want to use a border. Sometimes it actually looks nice if it's done correctly. But for instance, if we wanted to make this box clickable, and we might not be able to make one big enough, but oh, we did. Okay. So now, because this has that border there, you could actually have some fun with this, and maybe you could make this yellow. And so now, when they highlight over that, you know, it kind of makes sense that there's a yellow border. So you can have a little bit of fun with that, but probably 80% of the time, because it's just a single button that's clear, I just use the no color at all, and so you don't see anything around there. Now you can also see down here that we've got a little box here. What this is this is our timeline, and if we want this box to stretch out throughout the whole video, we can just stretch it out on either end, or if we want to find where this box comes in, we can click through here and just take a look and say, okay, it comes in right about here. So we can make that box clickable starting when that pops up, and then find where it ends. So it ends right about here. Come over to here, and then we can shut it off. And so now this is only clickable when this is on the screen. And so what will happen is, as this plays, if they were to click here, nothing would happen. As soon as the button pops up on the screen, that would be clickable. And then what we need to do is come over here once we have our button set up and hit link. Now this is where you can choose a few different things. You can link to another video, you can link to a playlist, you can link to a channel, you can link to a Google Plus profile, you can have a subscribe link, so literally they click this and it'll subscribe to your channel. Fundraising project, which I talked about earlier, was one of the first ones they allowed. Associated website, and then something they call merch, which basically you can have a store on YouTube. It never has really taken off. But if you've ever seen where you can buy like a song, so for instance, it might say buy this on iTunes or buy this on Amazon, you can set up merchandise links here as well. But what we want to do is we want associated website. Now you can click on this if you'd like, or if you just type in your website, it'll know that that's what you're trying to do. And as we type this in here, you'll see that it's telling me this is not a valid URL. But as soon as we get to the end of the URL, type in the last letter, it instantly knows that that's your website. Okay, so it has to be your website in order for that to work. So if I was to put in, you know, if we were to change this to google.com, you can see it's telling me that that's not a valid URL. Well, it's a valid URL, it's just not valid for clicking. So we want to make sure, just make sure 90% of the problems that people have here is spelling their own website wrong, which I've done many times and sat there and said, what do you mean it doesn't work? Oh, wait, I forgot an E. So just make sure you spell it right and you should be doing okay. Once you're done with that, you can hit save. It does auto save, which it already has here. And when you're ready, all you have to do is hit publish. And so now, live to the world, when anybody watches this video, they'll be able to click that. And so that will take you to the website. And in my case, it'll send it to just the main page of the site. But we can send it to any page on here that we want. So for instance, if I wanted to send them to my music page, you can see it still says preview link, so it knows that that's a valid link. And so that will work. And so now anybody who clicks on that will instantly be able to go to the music page and download music. And so that's the basics of this. Now, one thing to note, well, a couple of things to note. If you've already got videos up on YouTube, you may be thinking to yourself, well, I didn't put a button on here, so how can I utilize this feature when I don't have a button on here? Well, fortunately, we can do things about that as well. If you come back up to annotation here and you choose, in this case, we're going to choose note. Okay, you can see it makes a box here, and you can actually use this for the same purposes. So you could put in, click here for free music. Okay, and you can resize this if you want. So for instance, let's say we wanted to go 16, so it's nice and big. You can resize the box if you want. You can change the background color of the box to be darker, and then that way it stands out a little more. And then just like before, you can set it to wherever you want, however long you want. Put in your website. And while it's not going to be as pretty, maybe people aren't going to notice it quite as well as a big shiny animated button, it's going to be clickable. People will be able to use that. And so if you've got a video that's already out there that you want to link to your site, you can still do that kind of stuff. That's pretty much it as far as that goes. Again, just hit save, hit publish, and you're good to go. So Mike, anybody throwing out some hands here for some questions on this?
Well, I mean, you kind of answered this question as like, well, can I put these links on existing videos? And the answer is yes, by using, you know, the other type of annotations like the notes box, the speech bubble, all those different ones. You know, it's all about getting this configured properly, and then for your new videos, using that spotlight. See, the spotlight is an invisible clickable area. So in other words, what you're doing, you're putting this invisible clickable area over the graphic that was in your video. So, you know, I mean, folks, YouTube can send you traffic to pages on websites you control. Now, you know, I had a great question that said, you know, well, what if we have affiliate offers? Well, as long as you build a page on the approved domain name, that page can be linked to about an affiliate offer. It can be a video that you send from your YouTube video to your page where you talk about the affiliate offer with a big button below the video or a clickable link. You're just going to have to get creative with this, because here's the truth, and this is one of the things that got me so excited about YouTube, Ray, is, you know, several years ago, I wasn't a big fan of YouTube. I thought, you know, what do I need YouTube for? You know, I can put videos up on my website without YouTube. And so when I started seeing the traffic on some of the videos that I was, you know, I had a video that people liked. You know, one of the things that I say over and over again, everybody's excited about social media, but they're not making media worth being social. You know, video is the most powerful media that people share with their friends.
Absolutely.
So, you know, so I had this video that was being shared on other blogs, and I started, you know, I was up to 80,000 views, and I mean, I'm not a celebrity, but 80,000, I was getting 100 clicks a day from this one video. Thank goodness I put a clickable link under the video in the description. But this clickable link that can be actually in the video and can use the marketing psychology of, here this button appears, now click here on this button and point to it. This is brilliant, Ray. And folks, you know, don't get hung up on the technology. Once you kind of learn the steps, it's not that hard, and you're going to be of the select few that's paying attention to this. So that's why I wanted you guys to meet Ray, know he's the real deal. This is brilliant, Ray, that you stepped through this. And, you know, I mean, I know it's confusing. I have a question here. It says, what do you mean a page on one domain? Well, you can only associate one domain name, one URL with one YouTube channel. I mean, those are the rules from Google. We don't make the rules. We're just telling you what the rules are. But
and I'll tell you what I do with affiliate stuff is I like to create bonuses for affiliate products anyway. So in order to do that, you often have to have a page on your own site for that product to show off your bonuses anyway. So what I'll do is raythevideoguide.com/ I'm trying to think of a good product here. Opt-in Anywhere, you know, or InstaBuilder. And so I'll create a page on my site for InstaBuilder that says, you know, hey, before you check out InstaBuilder, we've got a bonus here. If you purchase today, you're going to get, you know, X, Y, and Z to use with InstaBuilder. So you have to have that page on your site anyway, so the button that's on YouTube will actually link to that page, that bonus page, before they get to the actual purchase page for the affiliate offer. And, you know, like I said, I think they've changed the rules at some point in time, you know, which is when I started, I used to do a lot more of click forwarding. So raythevideoguy.com/instabuilder in the past might have forwarded directly to the actual page. And I still do that kind of stuff today. Technically, it might be a gray area, but I do it. And even, I actually built a business, a small business, that sold a product, and I didn't even have a website. Literally, the video would come up, and I'd talk about the product. The button would show up here. They'd click on the button. It would take them directly to PayPal because I would forward it to PayPal, and they would buy it. So they didn't even have a website. So there's a lot of things you can do. Whether you can get away with it forever, who knows? But right now it has worked. And I wanted to show you one other thing here. I pulled up this particular video because this has got one thing. If you notice, there's different annotations on here. And this is a program that I do called Free Stuff Friday. And I actually run a little commercial for a product here. You can see, you can click the link to that product. And then when you get here, this is the product, the free product I'm talking about. You can click the box to go to that product itself. Okay? And then inside of here, you can click it here to learn more. And then this is where I think it's kind of interesting. This is what I put at the end. Okay, and if it'll show it, come on, there we go. Okay, this is actually a screenshot of a lead page. But what I've done is I've put an annotation around here. So when this comes up, you can't fill in your name and email, but if you try to and you click on this, it's going to take you to the actual page where you can. And nowadays, actually, one thing that's very popular is, rather than this saying, enter your name and email, one thing that's very popular is double-click opt-ins these days, where a lot of pages will have, hey, get my free book, and just a button. Then you click the button, and the area to put your name and email pops up then. So you can actually create those doubles here. So literally just have one button here instead of the name and email. And when they click that button, it'll take them to the actual lead page where they can fill that in. So, and I honestly, I get opt-ins for this every single day. Every single day I've got people that have opted in through this link here. And I've got it on a few different videos, but every day I see new people opting in for this free guide coming directly from the links in these videos. So it's a very effective way to build a list as well. Again, just like Mike said, you got to get creative. You got to just think outside of the box and do as many cool things as you want. One other thing I've done is I did an iMovie training series for the desktop iMovie, and at the end of each of the videos was a DVD-like menu that led to the next lesson. So all the, you'd have a button for lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, and you could just click through to the next lesson right at the end of that, and it was all done with the annotations and creating buttons. So there's just a ton of things that you can do if you just think outside of the box and get a little bit creative with it.
Well, Ray, you have just given, and folks, put some comments here. I'm thoroughly impressed with what you've presented today, Ray. This is really great information. Did you guys like that? Let us know if you liked it in the chat box here. If this was something that kind of shared with you what you wanted to know, and did Ray deliver what we promised in the email?
Certainly hope so.
I certainly hope so. I believe you do. I'm behind you 100%.
Well, beautiful. That's what I like to hear. And if like I said, Mike, just keep monitoring those questions here, and we'll answer any that any have. I know that doing it over a webinar is always a tough thing because it's much more difficult to see. You're dealing with a lot of the tech issues, and obviously the screens are a little bit smaller than if you're doing it yourself. But hopefully you guys kind of at least got the gist of all that, so that you can start to play around with that a little bit and kind of have some fun, because it's a lot of fun. And like I said, in our experiments, we've seen huge amounts of click-throughs specifically from that. So that's I can't say enough. The day that they announced that was one of the happiest days of my life, at least business-wise anyway. So I was very excited that they finally added that, because I had waited for it for a long time and never thought they would actually do it.
The accolades are coming in. Great stuff. I want to know more about Ray. Awesome. Will there be a replay? Hey, because Ray insisted on doing a hangout, there'll be a replay up faster than any one you've ever imagined.
It'll be right there pretty darn quick.
But you know what?
The way that the hangouts work, if somebody joined in right now, if somebody jumped in now, I think they start at the beginning, so they might be listening to us half live right now and be 10 minutes behind us. So who knows? But
we don't know that, do we? I guess not.
No, tough to tell, I suppose. But
yeah. Well,
like I said, guys, I mean, it's very, very fun, and you can do a lot of cool stuff. Oh, and one other thing I should mention about this too, and this is something that we've done for some clients, is you can turn anything into a clickable button. So, for instance, let's say you've got a client that sells clothing. You could have a video of a model walking up wearing the clothing, and have it so that you can click on their shirt and buy their shirt. Click on their shoes, buy their shoes. You can do all sorts of fun stuff like that as well, just by using the same annotation techniques and putting the annotation around that shirt, and then do fun things like that as well. So it doesn't have to be graphics that you've brought in. It can be all sorts of different things. You could do, heck, I mean, if you really want to get crazy, you could do an interactive adventure. And show like the detective walks into the back alley and have the garbage can clickable, and you click on that and it shows a video of him looking through the garbage can or whatever. And I actually have seen people that have done that, believe it or not, kind of like a choose your own adventure YouTube video deal where you can actually do that and decide what should Johnny do? Should he go to the library or should he go to the supermarket? Click on the library and it shows the video of him going to the library. So you can get really, really crazy with all of this. It's a lot of fun, and it's very, very effective for increasing those click-throughs, which, of course, is probably what most of the people on here are looking to do, is traffic, click-throughs, and sales. So that's why we love that kind of stuff.
Well, you've really given of yourself today. Is this everything you wanted to cover today, or is there anything else? Because what I'd like you to do is tell people how they can learn more.
Sure.
And more importantly, if we have any more questions, I'll take questions as long as you've got time for, Ray.
Yeah, I've got all the time in the world, and that pretty much is, in a nutshell, how to do the clickable links. Obviously there's some intricacies, and certainly when you get into it, you're probably going to have some questions, but you can definitely do that. I see somebody asking if I'm on Google Plus. Technically, I am on Google Plus. I don't play around with it too much, but I am on there. Of course, YouTube is, where you can really find me. So just, if you search Ray the Video Guy on YouTube, it'll come up. The channel even has, for those who are talking about how to set up your channel from the beginning, we have videos on YouTube itself that show some of that kind of stuff, the basics of getting started and things of that nature that are right there on the YouTube channel. So if you search me out there, you'll be able to get to that. And then, well, Mike, should we start to reveal some of our specials here?
Well, we've got some surprises because, guys, a lot of you may be students of my iPad video training because, even though Ray is a Mac guy with Final Cut Pro, which is the primo standard of video editing, and I'm a PC guy using Vegas Studio, but I got excited 2 years ago, and I told Ray about this, the ease and the success of people using the iPad. So I want to tell you, he has got an opportunity for you to learn from him. So listen to what he has to offer, and then I've got an iPad twist bonus that you need to stay and listen to. So nobody leave right now. Let us talk to you about YouTube Market Crusher.
And we've got a gift for you at the end as well that we're going to talk about as well. So definitely want to hang around for that. So yeah, what we basically just talked about is literally just one small piece of YouTube. YouTube over the last year to 2 years has made enormous amounts of changes, and they have added a ton of tools that, a lot of people always said, oh, YouTube is, it's not meant for marketers and stuff. I say BS. They have added a ton of features that are specifically going to help people that are trying to do monetizing things through YouTube videos. They understand that that's how they're going to get more and more people on there is, by allowing people to do that. And so they've actually created a lot of new things inside of YouTube that can really help grow businesses, increase sales, increase click-throughs. And while personally clickable links is one of my favorites, there's a lot of other great things in there. And so what I've put together is my course, which is called YouTube Market Crusher. And that's kind of got a soup to nuts, everything from creating that initial Gmail account all the way through using the interactive buttons and using things like, if you're familiar with the channel art, they've changed their layout completely over the last year. In fact, they've changed the layout completely twice in the last year and a half. But the new layout, totally different. The graphics, the way they use them are totally different. And so we teach all of that stuff, from setting up your channel to optimizing your channel for search to setting up the graphics for your channel. We also give you templates for that, teaching you how to use custom thumbnails. And by the way, that is probably, aside from the clickable links, the custom thumbnails are probably the most underused, powerful product that YouTube has. And the reason I say that is twofold, because one, imagine you're a plumber, or you are let's say you're a fitness store, and you get a video to page 1. Well, rather than having that awkward thumbnail that's built in with you making a weird face in the middle of your video, imagine if that thumbnail that's on page 1 of Google is a $5 off coupon or a $10 off coupon, or has your phone number on it, or has an offer right there. That is huge. And custom thumbnails allow you to do that. You can upload an actual graphic to your video to use as the thumbnail instead of the awkward picture that they just randomly pull out of the video. And so you have an opportunity there to really utilize thumbnails as a way to do more advertising. I mean, think about it. How else are you going to get essentially a coupon onto page 1 of Google? I can't think of any other way, really, unless you've got just a graphic that's very popular for whatever reason. It shows up in the images area, but you can actually have a video on page 1, and the thumbnail can be a coupon telling people, take $5 off, take $10 off. I mean, that's massive. That is a huge deal, and it's way underused. And so we actually teach you a lot about custom thumbnails, and we provide you a whole bunch of templates. So all you have to do is open Photoshop, pop these open, make a few edits, and you've got your own custom thumbnails. We also talk about in-video programming, and just so you guys know, that's going to be updated very shortly, because they've actually just added a new feature to their in-video programming. And for those of you who don't know what in-video programming is, essentially it is, if you've ever seen on a YouTube video where they might have a logo in the top corner, and if you hover over it, it turns into a subscribe button. That's one of the in-video programming techniques. They also have things like where you can actually feature another video on your video. And now what they've added is they've added the ability for you to put an animated logo at the beginning of all your videos. So if you uploaded a video a year ago and it just starts off with you talking, you can actually add a very short animated logo for your business to the front of all your videos. And you can do that through the in-video programming. So all of that stuff, again, that's being added because that's a brand new feature, but that'll be there shortly. And we teach you all about that. So it's basically a soup to nuts, everything you need to know about YouTube. And on top of that, we're also going to give you a bunch of graphics to use. So these would be all of the, we're going to give you some buttons today, but this will have even more buttons, more graphics, more icons, all sorts of things that you can use in your videos. We're also going to throw in some very video-specific things, such as lower thirds to put in your videos. We're also going to put some royalty-free music. I know you guys probably have royalty-free music coming out your ears already from Mike, but we do have some in there as well. And then one of my personal favorite things is we actually have a private Facebook group, and technically we have a couple of them, but we have one called Online Video Marketers, and it's about 3,000 online video marketers, and they range everywhere from small business owners like plumbers and dentists through internet marketers who sell products all the time, product creators, affiliate marketers. So basically, anytime you go there, if you ask a question about video marketing, no matter what the niche is, there's probably somebody there that's got an answer for you. And I'm in there all the time, so it's almost like having me as a private coach, because I'm always in there answering questions. Literally probably hours per day. I've got that open and ready to answer some questions in there. And so that's a huge thing. But also in the Facebook groups, this is your opportunity to be able to post your videos. So if you've created a video for yourself, a product, or a business that you work with, post it in there, and the people in there will go and view your video. They'll leave comments. They'll hit the like button, things of that nature, to help give it a little push and help get it up the rankings quicker, so that it's actually got a good, strong functionality to it as well. And then finally, the one thing I'm going to throw in with you guys for anybody who wants to learn all about YouTube with this is I just came out with a new video ranking course for 2014 back about a month ago. And it's got all the cool things about how to get your videos ranked without getting banned from Google. Because I don't know, some of you may have seen this, but over the last couple of months, YouTube and Google have done a huge crackdown that's very specific to videos. So a lot of people who were going out and buying YouTube views so that their view counts were higher, they were getting their videos pulled. People who were going out to Fiverr and buying 10,000 backlinks, they were getting their videos pulled off of Google. So videos that were on page 1 and doing really good and making people money, next day were just gone. And so what we did was we went out and we found out, okay, how can we get videos to rank to page 1 without pushing the envelope to the point where Google is going to do something to hurt us? And we've put together a course that we think works very well for that. And not only does it work well for ranking your videos to page 1, but it does really well for getting you good quality views that YouTube likes, and it also has the benefit of getting good quality traffic to your website and your offers a lot quicker. So it's a great little course that's really going to help you out with that. And best of all, because you guys use iPads, Mike and I have a special that is literally just for you guys that deals with graphics and using iMovie on the iPad. And we'll talk about that in a second. And today, you're going to get all of these, both courses, the ranking course, the YouTube Market Crusher course, all the graphics, all the music, and the iPad-specific stuff that nobody else has, all today for just $97. And Mike, do you want to talk a little bit about the graphics portion of this?
Yeah, well, now is the ability for the link to go get this offer, has that popped in? Because I don't know how Webinar Jam works here. There it is. There it is. It's just popped in, and you guys can click on and get this. When I saw what Ray was doing, I said, I got to figure out if this will work with an iPad. And it's so new that I went, oh my gosh, I see how to make it work, but Ray, some of the things that you have the way they aren't going to work with an iPad. And right. And this is how dedicated he is. He says, I know what to do to fix it. And so we're going to create, in fact, tomorrow, we are going to record the iPad tutorials, Ray and I together, which you guys, as a bonus, if you take this offer, you're going to be the only people that have this iPad video YouTube Market Crusher buttons. Because just to give you a little technical reason, his buttons had a white background, and so to make them transparent on an iPad, you had to make it a green background and use the green screen app. So in other words, there's a way to do it, but it took a little bit of nudging. And I told Ray that I said, I want my iPad folks to know about you, know about how to set up all this YouTube stuff, and know how to make videos with your iPad. So, if you get involved with this, you're going to get that bonus new tutorials. This came out of a conversation yesterday. So that's why you got to give us a little time to build it, because I wasn't doing this a week ago, guys. This is how I thought I was a video guy, and you can't know everything. So thank you, Ray, for opening my eyes to these possibilities. And then, of course, what I like doing is I say, well, okay, how can I use my iPad? Because I know how to make a video on my iPad and get it on YouTube, but I want to take advantage of what Ray's doing here with my iPad. So that's our bonus. Plus, if you know how to make videos with all the other things that Ray teaches, it doesn't matter how you make your video, these tools, these strategies are going to work. And for $97 to have this Market Crusher course, God, this is a no-brainer. Guys, go click the link here. Well, I assume you see it in your sidebar. There's a clickable link. that says Add to Cart right there on the sidebar under the chat box, and we can take some questions. Or if Ray, if you're tired and want to call it a day, you have over-delivered. You have over-delivered, my friend.
And in case you for anybody who doesn't see that, I'm going to post the link in here. It's actually...
All right, everybody's saying the link isn't working there, Ray.
Good.
So what happened?
What? Oh, they said what?
It says they're getting a 404 error.
Uh-oh, what did I do wrong?
The lesson here is, guys, hang with us, hang with us.
Told you I'm a terrible techie here, so hold on one second here. I'm going to put this in a sticky here. This should work. Let me double check here.
Okay, he is he's going to Ray the Video Guy with my name, and I'm testing it on my end here just to check it for you. And
I will say this: I know that I'm dealing with my provider here because I know that the site was running really slow yesterday. Okay, yeah, it just loaded for me there, so hopefully that link should work there. I'm not sure what happened with the other button. I'll have to see. Maybe I spelled something wrong.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting the 404 error. So what we can do is,
Well, I just clicked on it. It worked for me, so that's kind of strange.
Well, folks, welcome to the internet.
Yes. What's up with that?
I mean, I click it on my end, and it's not working. So that just...
Wow, that's really strange because I just loaded it up again. Even the graphic, I clicked the graphic and it... Oh, wait, no, you know what? The graphic, it didn't work. The other one did. You know, I think I see what I did wrong. I spelled your name wrong. I put W-E-R-T.
It's A-R-T.
Yeah, if you guys go to the chat area, I posted a sticky note there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. If I made that public.
You know, I'm not insulted because one time I put out an email with my name is Stewart.
Oh, you know, I'll tell you, I do that all the time. I put R-A-T instead of R-A-Y all the time. So my mistake there, guys. But yeah, it's raythevideoguy.com/Mike Stewart, all one word. Just make sure you spell it with an A-R-T instead of an E-R-T. So I guess we should double check that before we get started today.
I just checked it, so here I'll go into the chat box, and you know, it's neat that this. Oh, there's that good music that Ray's playing. So see, it's working when you spell my name right.
What a goof I am, right?
Hey, you know what? It's okay to be human. So here we go, everybody. I'm learning this webinar jam thing. It's pretty nice. It's not. It's got a lot of neat things, but you know when dyslexic people typo, things can happen. All right. So we have any questions? Anyway, if you can remember, raythevideoguy.com/Mike Stewart. That's where you can get all these bonuses, and you can get started with Ray's trainings, which I can tell you are well done, primo. He's a good guy, and just if it doesn't come up for you, try it again in a few moments. raythevideoguy.com with /me, Mike Stewart, all lowercase. Any questions, guys?
Yeah, throw them out there. I'm interested for questions here.
You know, one question, you know, that somebody kept asking, and I don't know if we answered it verbally, was can you put links on other people's videos? And I said, no, you can't, because you don't have access to their YouTube channel.
That's correct.
That would really be a can of worms if I could go in and put my links on your video.
However, there are some ways around that too. So
well,
we can have some fun with that.
Well, you'll have to talk to Ray about that. I don't know how to do it.
Added a new add to cart button. Doesn't have the pretty picture, but that should work now.
Yeah, but putting annotations on somebody else's YouTube video would be pretty difficult.
Well, I'll tell you what I have done with that for people that are interested in that. I have contacted people that had popular videos and offered them opportunities where all they had to do was add that. So literally, I just sent them a message and said, "Hey, I noticed you're not monetizing this video. You know, I'm an internet marketer. Here's a product that would fit this audience, and you're getting a ton of people here. Anybody who clicks through, I'll share it with you." And you know, it doesn't cost you anything to do that. Some people have said yes, and you know, we've marketed stuff to them and just split the revenue. So it's one way you can do stuff like that, and you know, you just show them how to do it, and then they do it. And hopefully you do well.
Paul said, "Is this the same package I purchased a couple of days ago?" Because I told people about where Ray was doing his introductory offer that was not as intense as the YouTube Market Crusher. Doesn't have all the features of it. However, I believe in your JV Zoo upsell funnel system, you did get to this product. So if you did buy the full product from the link in the emails, I'm going to make sure that you just contact me. I'm going to give everybody my real email address right now, Mike@InternetAudioGuy, InternetAudioGuy.com, Mike@Internet. And if you got YouTube Market Crusher through me, I'm going to make sure you get all the iPad bonuses. And of course, once again, this was a little more than his introductory front end offer, which was what was that called, Ray? I forgot the name of it.
That was actually called YouTube Interactive, and essentially it was what we taught today.
Yes, you basically got YouTube Interactive again today, one-on-one, and then this really goes in depth to all the good stuff that you really need to know. Well worth the $97. Bill Blake says, "How long are you going to honor this?" That's up to you. Totally up to Ray.
I'm going to keep this running for a while, specifically because we're going to have the replay up and going, so we can keep that replay going as long as you'd like, Mike. Obviously everybody has to. They're going to have to kind of contact you.
Right.
They'll have to contact you and say, "Hey, send me that extra stuff." So if you're fine with a week from now people still doing that, then that's fine by me.
I want people successful, so I'm not going to sit here and worry about it. I know that's all marketing tricks. If you don't buy now, it'll be gone in a minute. But we don't have to. It's just like your mansion. You don't have to have that mansion up there. That's
right.
The thing is Ray is an expert. He goes into detail. I watched his trainings. In fact, that's how I had access to this, because Ray got me access to it, and I learned what he's doing, and I want to learn more from you, Ray. So this won't be the last time you hear from Ray. I can promise you that. He's a brilliant marketer. He knows video. He has extensive experience, and this is just the beginning, folks.
Yeah, and like I said, the cool thing is you get into those Facebook groups, and we can have a lot of conversations in there, and and although one of my other guys tells me I should never do this, but I often do a lot of one-on-ones through there. I was told, no, you need to be charging people for that kind of stuff. But we get into Facebook, and I do a lot of one-on-one stuff with people on Facebook because you're customers, and I want you to be able to do that. Now, we're not going to spend 7 hours working on something specifically, but you come into that Facebook group, you get to know me, you send me some private messages, and we answer a lot of questions in there. In fact, we've been on this for an hour, so I'm sure I've probably got 10 or 12 waiting for me when I get off of this too. So
right.
That's
this is what we were talking about at the beginning, Ray. As Edward says, I use Google Hangouts a great deal. Does this tell you how to do videos without losing the SEO juice from Google Hangouts? And you and I were saying, I'm wondering if there really is. I haven't seen the evidence of the love and extra SEO juice from Hangouts versus just uploaded YouTube videos. You want to comment on that, Fred?
Yeah, well, here's what I found. Do I think there's an advantage of some sort? There probably is, but I haven't found anything where it's like such an advantage that a normal video would not be able to beat it. However, everything that we talk about in YouTube Market Crusher, whether you upload a video or you do a Hangout, it all kind of works the same. It's just a matter of how that video is getting into your channel. So, everything we talk about setting up your channel is going to be the same whether you plan to upload videos or use Hangouts. The SEO type stuff, it's all going to be the same. So if you do get it, you might get a slight advantage specifically because they know it's a Hangout, and they tend to give their own products a little bit of a boost. But we've beaten Hangouts with regular videos all the time. So it's not a huge thing either way. But I love Hangouts, by the way, and I do them all the time. So it's definitely something you want to be doing, and they can definitely be a big help. But every type of video can benefit from this type of thing. Do I speak specifically about Hangouts? I don't in this particular course, but you know, again, Hangouts are very, very easy once you kind of understand how to start them. So, but maybe, you know, maybe that's the next thing I'll do. Maybe I'll start doing a little training on how to do a Hangout. So
Yeah. You know, to me, Hangout was just an instant video without editing,
Yep.
and YouTube videos is edited videos and shorter, you know, or can be shorter. So I thought when it came to YouTube, a video was a video, but maybe it isn't, you know. And I would love an SEO guy to tell me, or a Google person to tell me, is there a difference? Because I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, and again, in my tests, you know, if there is, it's minimal. You know, we've even done some tests where we've taken a video, we've taken a Hangout, put them both up there, and you know, we haven't seen that one automatically dominates the other. But I will say this: what is great about the Hangouts versus a regular video is that you are setting everything up, then creating the video, and then it's already there, so they do rank very quickly. So that definitely is one advantage. You can rank very quickly with the Hangouts. But over time, I haven't seen a huge difference between the two. You know, we beat Hangouts with regular videos over time, but they definitely are very quick, which is cool.
Right.
So that's one thing you can definitely look forward to.
Well, this is your last chance, folks. You know, you've been on here 90 minutes. Let's see. We've held a pretty good audience, but we're losing some folks because they're getting tired, and I hear the lake calling me, Ray. It's calling me.
You hear the what calling you?
Huh?
What's calling you?
The lake.
Oh, the lake.
Yes, the Lake Lanier here in Georgia. I hear it calling my name. Mike, you need to cruise on me right now. So I'm going to go do that because I have another webinar tonight. But this is your last chance. If you got a burning question, give it to Ray or me right now.
And
otherwise, go to raythevideoguy.com/Mike Stewart, and you know, be a part of Ray's community. It's just going to be. I tell you what, I am Ray. You have not seen the last of me. I promise that.
Absolutely. So, all right, we got a couple questions that are popping in here. Let's see. Market credit. Yes, Bill, it is version 3 because they did change a lot of stuff over the last couple of years. So literally 3 versions in about a year and a half. So this is version 3 of Market Crusher. And let's see. Oh, Mac or PC? Somebody asked about that. And yeah, it's, you know, Mac or PC doesn't matter. They're just video trainings and graphics. So they work on pretty much anything, so that shouldn't be an issue at all.
Deborah says, I'm in, but you don't see the iPad bonus. That's because we have not made it yet.
Yes, that will be coming hopefully tomorrow.
Yes, and it will appear...
That'll be sent directly to you because that's not going to be available on the site for everybody anyway.
Right. We'll have it to where you have access to. All you need to do is email me, Mike at Internet Audio Guy, or get in the Facebook group and tell Ray to contact me. I will make sure that you have access to the iPad stuff. The only reason we don't have it is it was so new. We wanted to tell you that we're excited. We want to do it for you, and I promise you it will be done tomorrow. We're scheduled tomorrow to get it done.
We talked about this yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, you know. But, you know, that's how you guys...
Oh no, we just lost Mike. That's all right. So if you have anything bad you want to say about Mike, feel free to do it now because we just lost him here a second ago. So we dropped him. So, again, anybody have any more questions, please feel free to throw them up there. I can actually scroll through and look at some of these now. Let's see. So... if you don't have YouTube Interactive, yeah, what we taught here was essentially what's in the YouTube Interactive stuff, and all of that will be on the site for you, so you'll be able to access that directly inside of there as well. So all of that is in there. It's not going to be broken out because we kind of go through, the way we go through things in the Market Crusher is kind of a step-by-step. So literally the stuff that we talked about here today in YouTube Interactive is kind of spread out a little bit because, you know, you're gonna sign up, you're gonna create your verified account, which we talked about, and then let's see. Oh, so we got Mike on. Mike just joined me on Skype here.
Are you still on? I got disconnected for some reason.
Yes, I'm still on.
Well, why don't you just wind it? I don't know if I can log back in, but
I'm not sure either. I've never had anybody drop before, so I'm not sure.
Well, I'll try to log back in. Otherwise, you can
Very
just
good.
hit class.
Okay. So that was Mike checking in here because he got disconnected for a second there. So are there any more last-minute questions here? Let me scoot back here, see what we've got here. Again, how long does the offer last? We're going to keep this up because it is a replay, so we'll have that up there for a while. And what is the email address for the iPad bonus? I believe that was, and of course that was, oh, Mike is back. Excellent. Mike, are you with us? I can see him in here. We'll wait 1 second here. We'll get that email back for you here. I believe it was, Mike, are you there? I can see him, but I can't hear him. So let me find out exactly what that is. But if you join us in the Facebook groups and all that, we will get it to you there. So that's one way you can get it. And let's see. Okay, where do I go to join the Facebook group? That should be in the thing, but it's raythevideoguy.com, or excuse me, it's facebook.com/groups/online video marketers to go and check that out, and we'll help you get in there. And let's see, anything more we've got on here. So I'm not seeing any new questions, so last chance for questions before we get out of here today. Anybody got a last-minute question? If not, be sure to check it out, and be sure to check out that Facebook group. Let's see, Google Hangout training. Ed, if you want to specify on that what you mean with the Google Hangout training, or maybe you mean you'd like me to do a Google Hangout training, which I definitely can do and probably should do. There's a lot of people doing Google Hangouts, but not a lot on training for it. So maybe we will throw that together there. And again, you know, for anybody who wants to jump in on this now, we're going to throw in all this stuff. And we're also going to send you, I'm going to send this to Mike, so this is not going to be in the back end. This is something, again, we're going to send you privately because we don't want everybody getting access to this, is the ranking course. So the ranking course will actually be sent as well through the email. So make sure that you definitely contact us either through the Facebook group or through the email so that we can send all that stuff to you, and then we'll get that out to you there. So again, last second for questions before I let everybody out of here. Oh, type out Facebook group. All right, let me type it out there. Probably should have done that right at the beginning. Let's see if I can do this without spelling it incorrectly this time. So there we go. So that's the link to the Facebook group. And are all the resources free? If you're talking about inside the site, there are some resources in there that are, some of the resources are purchase products. So in other words, I'm just showing you resources that you can check out. But there are a ton of bonuses that are in there, and I believe I have them separated between resources and bonuses. The bonuses are all the free stuff, so that's where you can get the graphics out of there. That's where you get your lower thirds, your music, and all of that kind of fun stuff. And I think, actually, I believe there's actually pre-made videos in there for any of you that are doing offline work as well. So you can actually download videos that are pre-made specifically for the offline world. So there's like a plumber video, and there's restaurant and hairdresser and real estate, things like that. So there's some of that stuff in there that you can actually get access to as well. There's actually quite a few bonuses. And like I said, this is a membership site, so we will actually be updating that with new information from time to time. So it's something that will keep changing. And yeah, okay, Wall wants to know if I can run over the actual offer again. I absolutely can. What the offer is it's YouTube Market Crusher, and again, what that is that's everything you want to know about YouTube, right from logging on for the first time and creating a Gmail account to creating your channel, optimizing your channel for search, optimizing your videos for search. It's also got the channel art, how to use the channel art templates, and that channel art, for those of you who don't know, that is the graphic across the top of your channel that has your image in there. And we go over exactly what that is because it's actually a kind of an interesting, it's an interesting thing that they did with the channel art because it works on what they call the one channel. So that same channel art works on your mobile devices, it works on your desktop, and it actually works on a big screen TV. So if you've got an interactive TV, the channel art is actually the size of, is actually bigger than a desktop, or excuse me, an HD TV. So if you're using YouTube on an HD TV, the channel art will actually be full screen on your TV as well. So there's a lot of cool stuff with that. We teach all the setups. We teach you some of the things that are built into YouTube that they've added. So that would include things like setting up defaults for your channel. That would be setting up the keywords for your channels and how to link your channel to all of your different sites, your Facebook, your Google Plus, and things like that. We've got the custom thumbnails, which we talked about. Those, we have templates in there, as well as training on how to use the custom thumbnails. We've got the templates for that. We teach about the in-video programming, which is the clickable logo that goes on your videos, as well as featuring other videos. So there's just a ton of different things, and those are all the things that are built into YouTube that we teach. But then also we make sure that you have the graphics. We teach you all the YouTube interactive stuff, including how to edit the videos, how to use the graphics. We give you royalty-free music. We give you lower thirds. We give you video backgrounds. So if you're doing things like info videos with text and animation, we give you backgrounds that you can use. We've also got the pre-made videos that are in there that you can use if you're working with local businesses. And, of course, access to the Facebook group. And we're going to throw in the ranking course, which is going to show you all the things that will not only help you rank your video, but hopefully keep you out of trouble with Google and YouTube, because you know, they've been going around and kind of killing people quite a bit. So we teach you all the things that work really well now that are going to get your videos ranked very quickly. And then, of course, we're going to send you all of the iPad stuff, which is training specifically on how to edit the graphics into your videos using an iPad. And we're going to give you a special graphics pack that works specifically with the iPad, which, you know, up until now, the graphics that we have, they are transparent, like we showed earlier, but they don't work quite as well on an iPad. iPad doesn't allow transparent PNGs to be overlaid, so we've created graphics specifically for you guys that should help with that. Let's see, were there some buttons available? Yes, and we will send that to you. We will be sending that to you tomorrow as well. So when we get this stuff ready, we will send over the button pack. So everybody who's on this right now, who came in and watched the presentation today, you will be sent a pack of graphics that has all of that, including you know, some of the stuff that you saw earlier. So you will be able to take what we learned here today. We'll send you those graphics, and you'll be able to use those in there. So that's just our gift for you showing up and being a part of this today. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. And let's see. Oh, my email address. Now I'll give a caveat, and you want to know my email address, I will gladly give it to you. However, I will let you know I am the worst emailer in the world, and I get ridiculous amounts of email, and then people email me a week later and go, "You never responded." But I will throw it out there. It's actually just ray@raythevideoguy.com, and you can try to email me there, and hopefully I will respond to you. I'll do my best. And let's see, and Ed asks, becoming a member of the course, will new customers be grandfathered into future training of mobile related to what you showed us today? Yes, absolutely. When it comes to the YouTube Market Crusher stuff, you will be grandfathered into that, which is why I actually did it as a membership page, because I wanted to be able to, you know, add things into there over time and change things as they change in there. So it is pretty much a lifetime membership in there for any of that stuff. Now, we do put out other courses here and there that that are separate, but as far as the YouTube training stuff there, that's where it's going to go. You have a membership in there once you buy in, and so anything new we add, bang, you'll get it, and you'll get it immediately. So I hope that was answering the question that you had there. Let's see. Yeah, and absolutely, I see what you're saying with the mobile there, Ed. When the mobile stuff becomes available, we will be adding that in there, definitely. We're hoping that that's soon. I know there was a recent announcement that they're starting to do some mobile stuff with annotations, so you know, we're hoping and praying that that's soon, because that's, you know, I'm dying for that to be the next thing, and hopefully it will be. Let's see, Deborah, does login access info come via email? The link that you were sent should take you to a page to create your account. If it didn't, just send me an email, and I'll make sure that you get into there. But it should automatically, once you go through the process, it should take you to a page that says, what's your name, what's your email, what's your password, and it'll create the account. If it doesn't, send an email to that ray@raythevideoguide.com, and I will follow up with that. I will keep my eye on that to look for anybody who had any. If you had any difficulties, we'll straighten you out. And let's see, email you to remind us to send the bonuses. Yes. And the email, actually, hold on one second, because the email was actually, it was Mike that wanted you to send him an email for that. So let me ask him on Skype, because I know he's there. I will get that from him, and then I'll paste that in here. You can email me as well. If you do, that's fine. I'll keep my eye on that. And if you answer that, if you send an email to me, I'll try to keep my eye on that. But I'll get you Mike's email that he wants you to send it to as well, because I think he's going to spearhead sending you that part of the trainings and whatnot. So as soon as I get that from him, and I know it's Mike at whatever the sound. I wish I could remember it. I don't have that one down here, so hopefully he will get that message in Skype and send that to me right away. And if not, we're going to do a follow-up email anyway. But like I said, you can feel free to send me an email directly, and I'll gladly respond to that as well. I'll keep my eyes peeled. I'm terrible at email, but I'll keep my eyes peeled for it. Okay. Oh, good. Edward says that that is the answer he wanted to hear. Well, I wish the answer was actually even better, but hopefully they will make that adjustment and add that to the mobile very soon. So. And oh yeah, and yes, you can do that in the Facebook as well. Facebook is fine. If you want to send me an email at ray@raythevideoguy, you can do that, or you can put it in there as well. That's fine. Or email Mike, and we'll take care of that. Let's see. I'm not getting a response back from him on that email so far, but all right. Any last-minute questions? If not, we will break apart here and let you guys get on with your day. And I do want to thank you guys for joining us today. This is a lot of fun. I knew we might have a few tech issues just because I just got a new machine here, and literally as I was getting this ready, I said, oh no, I have to add this and I have to add that. So hopefully, let's see. And let's see, last questions here. Lately, okay, from Deborah, I cannot click on links from emails that I've saved. Don't know why. That's a good question. I have no idea on that one. But don't worry, Deborah. You can catch us on the Facebook group or the emails, and we'll make sure that whatever you need, we take care of there. So we'll give it another minute here if anybody has a last-minute question, and if not, we will break off for the day. And again, thank you guys for joining us. Hopefully you guys got a lot out of the training portion of this. Like I said before, it is a great, very, very effective tool that they've added here that nobody is really using. Very rarely do I see it, and it's a very useful tool that does a lot, and we've seen a lot of increases with that. So I'm excited by it, and I'm glad you guys were able to come in here and listen to me ramble on about it. Hopefully you got something out of that. And it looks like we don't have any more questions, so I think we'll break off here. And again, we'll send the replay out to you probably within an hour. You should get an email with the replay in it. And feel free to check back. Visit us on the Facebook page again, and we'll be glad to answer any questions or send us an email. Again, it's ray@raythevideoguide.com, and I will keep that monitored. And other than that, you guys have a great day, and we will talk to you hopefully soon in the Facebook groups or an email. Thanks, guys.